Welcome. Tuesday, another stream. Gonna be painting in oil today. Doing a portrait this time. Just gonna get my pencil sketch ready and go from there. So, hey, how's it going? What's up? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. How am I liking oil? It's been fun. It's been fun so far. I haven't painted since this last one, but gonna get some practice in today. Your art is so cool. Thank you. Hey, what's up? How's it going? How am I doing? I'm pretty good. No complaints. What about you? How's it going? How's your week so far? Yo, you are very humble. Thank you. I love your work. I just got started with oil myself. It's a nice change. Yeah, it's a nice change. It's a different way of thinking. At least for me, from the mediums I'm used to. I love your work. You are beautiful. Thank you. You hate Mondays? What's wrong with Monday? Because the weekend's over? I had Monday off and today off, so I'm good. Nice. So yeah, it's a short week. You know, it's weird because when I used to come in midweek, the last 3 days of the week still felt like it made them feel like longer. I don't know if that makes any sense. Oil painting pro and chem PhD is crazy. Lots of respect for your hard work. I definitely can't call myself a pro when it comes to oil paint, at least. I can, maybe for gouache or watercolor, but definitely not oil. Do you speak French? Nah. I was in French club in 4th grade for like a week, and I dropped it. How's the oil painting journey going? It's okay. So this was from last week. I did this skull. I did these 2 skulls, but I haven't touched them since the last stream, and I think they're it's still a little bit wet, just a tiny bit. But I might layer on top of those today too. I just want to get this drawing in and maybe start painting this portrait in oils to see how it goes. I'm only going 2 full days and I'm off early on Friday, so even better. Nice. So you'll be right back to the weekend. Right back to the weekend in no time. Did you just have like vacation days or something that you didn't use? Dope, thank you. So how you guys doing? What's up with you guys? What got you into drawing? And yes, I realized I don't take off time for myself, so I just did it. What got me into drawing? I don't know. I've been drawing since I was a kid. It was just always fun to me. Trying to draw like my favorite comics and cartoons and stuff. So, how different would you say is the experience painting with oil from gouache? The biggest difference is that the drying time. Gouache dries like immediately, basically, and oil. This painting that I did last week still isn't dry yet. So that's the biggest difference. The other thing is that the color changes for gouache when it dries. So that's a pretty big difference. But do you make a different kind of art when it comes to only creating for yourself? Love from Italy, been following you for a lot. Thank you. And yeah, I do different stuff. On Instagram, I mainly kind of post portraits and stuff, but for personal work, I do a lot more, maybe more imaginative stuff, or more like plein air painting or figure drawing. But I don't really post any of that stuff that much. Would you do your own anime show? I don't really have an idea for an anime show. Since you've always been drawing, was there a turning point when you started taking your art more seriously? Yeah, the turning point was, I would say, back in late 2017 was when I kind of started taking it more seriously. When I was in grad school. Before, it was always just something that I did, kind of like in the margins of my papers and stuff, just for fun. But yeah, since 27, when I was in grad school, that's when I kind of started taking it a bit, like actually intentionally trying to study anatomy and learn different things. Regards from Puerto Rico. Hey, how's it going? And oil paint requires ventilation because those fumes are no joke. Yeah, I got my fan on today. last time I forgot to have the fan on, so yeah, that I think the main thing was that Gamsol, the odorless mineral spirits, started making me feel a little bit lightheaded. Something I never had to worry about with acrylic gouache. Nice, thanks for the response. Big up from the Bahamas. Like a couple years ago, I was on a cruise that was supposed to go to the Bahamas, but I forgot what hurricane it was, but it was like it was a hurricane back in 2018 or 2019, I can't remember, that went right through the Bahamas, so the cruise like got diverted and didn't end up going. So I would have visited at one point, but never got the chance. I love your art, making art as a creative release versus making art. Well, I love your art, making art as a creative release versus art for making content. Yeah, they're two different things for sure. Yeah. Art just for content's sake is kind of, that gets old pretty fast. But in this day and age, if you're trying to get exposure with it, it's kind of unavoidable. So I actually kind of like the smell of the spirits, but it does mess with you in the long run. Yeah, I'm between my time in grad school, like I want to minimize my exposure to chemicals as much as possible. It's I mean, none of this stuff is as bad as the stuff I was using in grad school, but still, I think this is good enough to start painting. It might have, yeah, that was it, Hurricane Dorian. Yeah, that was the one. It might have been Hurricane Dorian. If you ever come, I recommend traveling with some time to explore. I met a lot of tourists who say the one-day cruise was bittersweet. Yeah, the cruise, it is bittersweet because, like, I mean, it's a cost-effective way to see multiple places, but you definitely don't get to explore any one place in depth. Because they ran out of time. Your art is beautiful. How did you find your style? Any tips for a fine art graduate looking to get back into creating art and finding my own style? For me, my style kind of emerged naturally after just kind of doing a lot of drawings and like looking back, and I started to notice things that I liked about what I was doing, and then certain things that I didn't like about what I was doing, I would try to intentionally improve upon. But your style, it emerges from a lot the stuff that you like the stuff that you like, the stuff that you specifically like to do. Because there's a lot of like art styles and stuff that I like, but I don't think I would particularly enjoy doing it myself, even though it's nice to look at. So you have to just experiment with a lot of things and keep mental notes of everything that was like enjoyable to do. And that all of that naturally incorporates into your style. You can do more intentional things like studying from artists that you like what they do and think you would like to create something similar. But hey, what's up? How's it going? Can't tell if this eye. I think I finished that thought. I don't know if I finished that thought. Let me know if I answered your question. I'm gonna just jump in with some oil paint, or maybe no. Actually, I'm gonna put it like a base layer down first. Drawing looks solid. Thank you. Yeah, it's good enough to serve as the base for the drawing. I mean, for the painting. But yeah, I'm going to use the acrylic gouache again for the base layer. Drawing looks solid, thank you. What's the hardness of the pencil you're using? It doesn't seem to smear very much. Yeah, the pencil I was using was this, it was the Blackwing. And it's the gray Blackwing, so it's like the medium one. Cause there's the black one, which is like the really soft one, but this was like the gray Blackwing. Yeah, it doesn't seem to smear that much really, but it's about to get covered with oil paint, so yeah, I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. I need I should use this big palette for the oil paint so that I can use the tiny one just for this quick wash, but I already have oil on the small palette, so yeah. I need a brush. Where is my brush? And underpainting of deep shadows. Oh wait, I missed it. The first part of your comment. What did he say? You can do an underpainting with the acrylic gouache. Add more darks. Yeah, I'm gonna go with burnt umber again. I like how it turned out last time. Man, Mark has all the tricks. I love it. Yeah, he's the local, or he's my painting coach. Now, definitely learning a lot of tips. It's nice not having to just stumble around in the dark and use the oil as your lights. Thanks for the tips and advice. Looking back to when you first started out as an artist, would you say it took you months or years to discover your own style? I think it's a culmination of all your experiences. So it's like your whole lifetime. Like, I don't think it's a specific time, like a specific date that I could point to say, like, this is when my style emerged. Because it's like, it's a constantly evolving thing, right? Like, my style last year, there's probably some nuances that are different this year, and next year, hopefully, as long as I'm not stagnant, I'll keep improving and changing things. So it's hard to pinpoint like an exact point. Like, even your work, whatever work you're doing now, like your style is already there. It's just a matter of refinement. Like, whatever you put down on your paper, that's your style currently. And you can change different aspects of it as you go along. Improve things that you want to improve and retain things that you already like. A lot like you did the gouache painting, the yellow underpainting of the girl. Oh, like a quick value study. Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick value study. I want to do most of the work in oil because I just want to not rely too much on the acrylic gouache, since I already know how to use gouache. But that should be good enough for the painting. I need more desk space though. That should be dry shortly. I get it. Yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick so I can use this hair dryer and it doesn't blow your eardrums out. So I'll be back in a second. The only reason I encourage it is because the underpainting turns out much the same with oil or the acrylic. Ah, I see. Yeah. In the acrylic gouache, it would just dry faster. But yeah, this is in the acrylic dries much faster. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just go from here. I didn't clean my brush out that great last time. So we'll see. But I know to use some of this. But I totally understand trying to get a full medium approach. Yeah, just experiment and trying to maximize the amount of time I use painting with oil just in the beginning, just to figure out like what my workflow is gonna be, and then from there I'll probably like refine and try to optimize, I love watching this process. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, you booked them out for Saturday? Nice. What time? What time is that? What time are you hosting the session? Any advice for cleaning oil paint out of your brushes? Mine get stiff when I don't use them for a while. Yeah, let's ask Mark. He's the resident oil painting expert. Okay, I don't think I cleaned mine out that good last time. $9:30 a.m. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to make that. Cause yeah, my I have to teach a workshop at 2:00, so that should give me plenty of time. Sweet. Nice. Yeah, it should be fun. You getting ready for the competition? Use a thinner to clean out the paint. Make sure to wipe them very clean. Avoid getting paint into the heel of the brush. Hello from Portugal. Hey, what's up? Thanks for stopping in. I use the Master brush cleaner and preserver for my brushes. Best to use paper towel for cleaning. Throw away when done. You can clean your brushes with oil as you work, and sports and brush soap to completely clean. Best to leave in oil. Oh, spirits. Oh, okay. What kind of oil would you use to clean? I have some linseed oil, but it's like a tiny little bottle. Like I just have this tiny bottle, so I figured like I don't know how much to use of it. Oh, linseed. Okay. It's slow drying and best. So I guess I should. Cause I got one of these things too, like this thing where it has like a spring inside. And I feel I feel this with mineral spirits, and I've been using that to like clean my brush, but I don't know. Maybe I should have filled it with oil instead. I would not recommend oil to clean. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Cool. A smaller one with oil, and a bigger one with spirits. Okay. Cool. Waste less oil. Thank you all so much. Yeah, Mark, I heard if you use rags, there's a chance they can spontaneously combust. I use a mixture of linseed oil and mineral spirits. Yeah, because oil paint, when it dries, it dries through oxidation. And oxidation is a process that produces heat. So if you have like flammable oil, over time it could. That's why it can spontaneously combust. At least that's what I've read. Most masters would leave their brush in linseed oil. Yeah, I got this tiny little thing. I had a little drop of linseed oil in there, but I probably could put a little bit more. The oil and spirits can both be used to thin the paint. And put onto canvas. I think he was referring to cleaning. Why wouldn't you use linseed oil to initially clean the brush? Are you back to oils? Yeah, this is oils. I'm trying to so I'm using like thin down paint right now, trying to map out like the shadows and stuff that I'm seeing, but and I guess later I'll go in with some more opaque paint. Yeah, best to leave wet rags out to dry before putting them in a wastebasket. Linseed oil is thicker. If you're removing paint, no need to do an intermediate step with oil. So is the linseed, so if you are using linseed oil, is that good for like if you're not like completely done painting for the day, but you're just having like your brush like sitting by waiting for the time to use it again? Linseed oil is thicker if you're. I think we will just use the model stand on Saturday. I don't think there's anything going on before your workshop. Yeah, Saturdays are usually clear. Sometimes I think once a month there's like that yoga thing. There's like a yoga class in the morning, but I don't think they use that part of the studio, so it should be good. But what size are you painting? This is 9x12. 9x12 on Yeah, it's 9 by 12 on this Strathmore oil painting paper. Linseed oil makes sense for keeping your brush wet. The clean oil keeps your nice brushes around longer. Is the mineral spirits like, is that rough on the brush? Like, does it degrade the bristles over time? Versus the oils a little bit more gentle. So best to use mineral spirits for cleaning and linseed oil for keeping the brush wet. The spirits can dissolve the binder in the brush over time. I see. So you really wanna minimize the amount of time the brush is in contact with the spirits. The spirits should not degrade the brush much in my experience. It's mostly for cleaning and your first block and drawing layer. Okay. Beautiful art, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I figured I'd make the beard a little darker so that some of those darks would like peek through when I start putting the like white on there for the white hair. Good care of bristles is the most important thing in longevity. Your brushes will be fine as long as you're not soaking them in the turp. Yes, first layer and cleaning, I agree with that for sure. Yeah, fat over lean. That red might be too saturated. But both oil and thinner are useful and to a smaller degree at all stages. Great cleaner and brush care is Murphy's oil. It's a wood cleaner, pretty inexpensive. Yeah, I have some of that for like, yeah. Oh, you can use it to clean your oil brushes though? Nice. Yeah, I have some for like cleaning with the floors in my apartment, but yeah, I didn't know you could use it for cleaning your oil paint. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's basically just a. Someone told me the other day, fat over lean. I haven't tried it since I'm already too far gone in my current painting. You guys check out Shay, her work is really good. She's an instructor over at Academy of Realist Art, Boston. No gouache? Not today. Today is oil painting day. It's mostly for archival purposes. Make sure to use thinners before any detergent cleaner like Murphy's. In a GPT fake art era, it's refreshing to see talent to people keeping traditional art alive. Good job, man. Yeah, it's all. I think it's always gonna be people. Always people. People aren't. I don't think even with AI, I don't think people are gonna stop painting traditionally. It's just too much fun. I've never used Murphy's before, so I would want to research it before I would. Yeah, and this brush was like $5. It was just a cheap brush I got, so I'm not super worried about it. Once I get the hang of oil, then I'll start researching like better supplies and stuff. Whenever I'm trying a new medium, I like to get good quality paint, good quality paper and stuff. The brushes, that's like, at least from my experience with watercolor and stuff, that makes like the least amount of difference. Like if you had to pick somewhere to skimp on, I would not skimp on the paint and the paper, but the brush you probably can get away with until you know more of what you're doing, so you know what to look for in a good brush. As far as I see, you don't want to leave your comfort zone. Acrylic, gouache, and watercolor zone. Examine Rembrandt, Van Gogh to get a better perspective, and you will be. Oh, my computer's not showing me what those emojis are. But yeah, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. This is oil. I'm using oil for the second time, so we'll see how it goes. I'm trying. Yeah, I've been trying not to get into the lights yet, but I think I'm gonna just do it. I want to test out, see what it's like painting with like a different color undertone. I might do that next time. See if I know Verdaccio painting that started with like oil painting, so I'm sure it works the same. Cheap brushes are still usually good enough. Just a couple portraits and you'll be an expert. Thank you. You already have the skill. That's the biggest difference. Yeah, the hardest, I feel like learning to draw is probably the hardest thing, and then learning to paint, like if you know how to draw already, then learning to paint kind of gives you a bit of a head start, and it's just a matter of learning the nuances of whatever new medium that you're trying to use. But that being said, I think it's still going to be a pretty decent learning curve. I don't know. Use a cooler ground. Yeah, I should have did that. Yeah, I'm gonna try it next time, cause this is blending in with, like, if this was gouache, I would probably just even leave this color. Like the value kind of works with the skin already, and I don't even have to really paint over it. Like maybe minor adjustments, but I want to see what it's like building the whole thing up with just oil paint. Makes your reds pop. Yeah, different colors. Okay, big thing with oil is painting dark to light. No medium does it quite as naturally. Stepping out of your comfort zone helps you grow as long as you have an interest in a new medium. Yeah, for sure. There's no point in forcing yourself to do something you don't care about. That's the quickest way to, like, it makes it so trying something new and improving on something new is way easier, like, if you have a natural curiosity in doing that thing. You're more likely to stick with it and keep going versus just forcing yourself to do something because somebody said that's what you have to do. I think I'm gonna put in a blue hat just so I can compare values to the skin. Your version isn't pissed off enough. Yeah, I'm gonna start putting in a hat. I've never had to sign a press release for an art competition before. You get that email? I did get the email. I didn't read it though. I gotta read it. But yeah, this I mean that makes sense because I'm assuming they're gonna want to put the results on their website and then probably put pictures up to promote it and stuff like that. So I've actually never did a live painting competition before, so I'm excited to see how it goes. If I don't feel like confident in oil by next week or 2 weeks, then I'll try to see if I can do acrylic gouache. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I don't have any expectation. I'm just trying to get out of comfort zone again. Try something new. Probably meet some other cool artists and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. They wouldn't be able to stop you. They could disqualify me. Do you have, when you paint shade, do you use a bunch of different brushes, or you kind of use like a single brush, or just like a small number of brushes? Is this live painting competition or head to head? Will be a battle royale style? Yeah, it's a live painting competition. So it's going to be one model for 6 hours, and you paint. Everybody is probably going to be arranged around the room randomly. You're doing great, Jay. Everything you're doing is going to be a great experience and lead to a broader perspective in painting. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it's no point in doing the same thing over and over and over without ever trying anything else different. So will it be broadcast? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Maybe. But yeah, I'm not familiar. This is gonna be my first time with this specific one or any painting competition in general. I like to have at least 3 for light. Dark, and mid-tone. Oh, okay. So you separate your brush based off not specific color, but just based off the value range of the colors you're going to be working with. You're planning to work with. Interesting. Yeah, that's I guess that'll make you don't have to clean your brush off as often between like picking up. Personally, I use brushes of different sizes. Okay, that sounds like what they do in the UK for that show Portrait Artist of the Year. That's on Netflix, right? I feel like I never watched it, but I feel like I've seen clips or something. Because I use a limited palette, color pollution is okay. Oil tends to get muddy quickly otherwise. Yeah, I might be running into that problem shortly. Whack. I paint dark to light on acrylic and oil. That's what I gotta try next. Just regular acrylic. See how that is. I actually start with large brush to block in big shapes, then move on to smaller brushes for detail. I also keep light, medium, dark colors on separate brushes too. Yeah, I usually with gouache, that's how I like to work too. Start off with a big brush. With this one, I've just been using the same size brush for the whole thing. When I use my bigger brush, it wasn't like picking up the paint maybe I just had to load it with more paint, but it wasn't like applying the paint as nicely. So I usually pass through a range of darks, a range of mids, and a range of lights. I'm a Kumafo. I found it on YouTube a few years back. Not sure if it's on Netflix. Your style is very inspirational. I would blend those colors already, but it looks awesome without blending. I'm literally just trying to paint the same way think the same way I would with gouache or acrylic gouache. It's definitely a little bit different since I can't just quickly layer as much with the mediums I usually like to use. I don't have to wait at all really to be able to layer. Gotta head out. It was great to finally catch you live. All the best in your competition. You got it. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I'm still Jesus, which means the Lord saves. Yukun service for a white piggy mason. I have no idea what you're talking about. Thanks to everyone for oil painting tips. Peace all. Synthetic and natural hair brushes do different things to the paint. Synthetic pushes it around and natural fuses it more. I'm pretty sure this is synthetic. So that I think okay. Yeah, this is yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a synthetic. So yeah, that's why it's kind of not really blending so much, I guess. You can totally approach oils the same way you do a gouache. Just keep in mind the nuances of the paint. Yeah, I think to make, I have to be more mindful of how I mix the paint on a palette, because with gouache, I don't really care about making mud that much, because it's, even if you do make mud, it's like you can always just quickly cover it up, you know. But I don't know if that's, I might have to be a bit more intentional with the color mixing of oils. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about. You Joshua King. Did they? If you want to do heavy body acrylics, you're gonna find them pretty similar to acrylic gouache. This guy's gotta be a bot, right? What is he talking about? We need like a translator. I really enjoy using cheap watercolor flat brushes. The paint just glides so nicely. You just can never use those brushes for anything else. Oh, you actually use watercolor brushes for oil? Yeah, I might try it out. Oh, so you're not a bot? So, is English your first language? I have no idea what you're talking about. I gotta be honest. Anything natural hair is good for oil. Nah, somebody else, this guy, Yeshua King or whatever, it's just saying like random words, and I don't know what he's talking about. Nah, Mark, you're not a bot. Your tips are helpful. Oh, you speak Japanese? Oh, okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, I was a little confused. Is that Google? Are you using Google Translate or something? I'm AI, not real intelligent. His portrait is looking amazing as always. You will do awesome in the competition. Thank you. Yeah, we'll see. I gotta get in some practice from life too. We'll see how that goes with the oils. Cause I don't have my setup. I have to figure out a setup for oil paint. I have my watercolor setup pretty dialed in, but I don't know I'm gonna need yet. Oh, my name is Joshua in the English government. Do you have any heavy body acrylics now? No, I don't have any heavy body acrylic. All right, is heavy body acrylics? What's the difference between that and like Is it just kind of like a thicker paint? How's the opacity? Heavy body is more thicker. And it's used in paintings like what's an embossed effect. Oh, so it really it really shows like the like all of the brush strokes and stuff. Each color usually has an opacity grading. Just get an acrylic palette with some tone to it, like gray or tan, or you can use gray paper palette. Lots of space for mixing. Yeah, that's what this is. This is it's like a glass palette with the bottom has been toned gray. Oh, gray paper palette. That's perfect. I could be wrong about that. I usually use cheap, very opaque acrylics for murals. What brand do you like for the acrylic? What's a good acrylic brand? Is it like Liquitex or Golden? For murals, I use whatever Walmart has. Here in the Philippines, like me, living on the average Liquitex, Golden and Reeves is pricey. Really? I've used Reeves gouache, but it's not really that good. Or at least the one I had wasn't good. But I haven't tried their acrylics though. Yeah, I do want to try. That's gonna be my next thing to try is just acrylics. Mart has a cheap price but rich in pigment and thickness. Mart. I haven't heard of that before. Together with their acrylic medium and acrylic retarder. So that's just something to help it not dry quite as fast. With acrylic, because with acrylic gouache, I like to just dilute it with water. Do you do the same thing, or I know there's like a like acrylic medium, I guess. But for professional painting, I'd use golden, Liquitex golden, or Blick brand. When I didn't know about acrylic medium, I usually use water on my acrylics. What's the difference between acrylic medium versus water? Is it a little more pleasant to work with? Is that the main reason you choose one over the other? Medium or water for high grade acrylic? Water for low grade acrylic. Really nice painting. I like the subject's compelling expression. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like how the hat brim is like covering part of the eye, like half of the eye. In my drawing, I have to probably move the eye up a little bit, or make the brim come down a tiny bit. I can't tell. But yeah, it's a cool pose. Water made the heavy body acrylic lose its consistency a bit, but the pigment is still there. Oh, okay. So the medium dilutes the paint it dilutes the paint but keeps the viscosity, versus water, it like dilutes the viscosity, like makes it more fluid basically. I don't need these clips anymore. Also not so. If you dilute acrylics too much with water, you weaken the binding strength of the paint. So if you need to paint really thin, add medium instead of just water. My former art professor introduced me to Rublev Oleo Gel as a much safer alternative to use with your oil paintings. It's non-toxic, has no odor, helps the paint blend better, and adds sheen. That's interesting. Yeah, dilutes viscosity, exactly. The acrylic medium seems to dilute a bit, not like with water. Water made the paint transparent. Medium made it thinner, but the viscosity is still there. Okay. It's nearly 1-to-1 with linseed oil and how it's used. I really like oleo gel. Yeah, I might have to check that out. I probably saw it. I just didn't know what it was when I was shopping for my supplies. Is it how does it affect the drying time? Does it make it dry as faster or slower? All right, I'm about to work on the face. Which one? I was. Have you heard of on YouTube? Somebody mentioned oleo gel. Oleo gel. I'm guessing it sounds like it might be like some type of like oleic acid or something like that. When I was in grad school, a common solvent we used was called oleamine, which is like basically a really oily solvent that you could it was basically like a surfactant. It's the gel version of linseed oil. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It will dry about the same but slightly slower if you add too much, like with linseed oil. So it's probably like just polymerized linseed oil, but they just like made a polymer out of it. But with acrylics, medium has a finished matte satin gloss. It can be used to coat an entire layer. Say you want a matte finish, get matte medium. Oh yeah, I think if I was to use acrylic, I think I would like a matte look versus like a more, because I don't really like that shiny look that much, which is why I like acrylic gouache a lot. So if I was to get into acrylic paint, I think I would do a matte medium. So it's like the acrylic retarder other side. From their website, oleo gel is a thixotropic painting medium made with linseed oil, pyrogenic silica that adds transparency to the thixotropic body to oil, resin, oil, or alkyd paint. That's interesting. I don't know about oleo. Yes, sir. The medium gives a sheen if you choose the gloss one. Before I didn't know. So yeah. Yeah, I definitely like. I like my paintings to have like a more matte look to them. Is there a way to get like a matte look in oil painting? Is that possible? I don't think, because when you varnish it, varnish makes the painting shiny, right? Unless you get like a matte varnish, if that's the thing. I don't know what thixotropic means. I have to look that up. I should know the term as a can. Oh no, actually thiol, it probably has something to do with maybe sulfur, but I don't think so. It's like thiol. typically refers to something sulfur related, but I don't know what 6-0 means. And I doubt that it's oleo means oil in Spanish. Oleo gel looks like it's for sure used with oils, not acrylic. Yeah, oleo gel is, he was saying like it's basically the gel version of linseed oil. What's up, JMR? Did you just did your watercolor video with Strathmore? Let's just say my rendering didn't turn out so well. I'm 4 days in, but thank you for all the inspiration brought. Yeah, thanks for checking that out. Yeah, I mean watercolor can be unforgiving at first, but just keep sticking with it. It's once you get the hang of it, it's definitely fun. They make matte oil varnishes, but most oil painters prefer gloss. I prefer matte like you. Yeah, I think for oil painting, gloss probably looks better. But usually you want to gloss with oil. I'm not sure about matte painting on oil finish. Gloss makes your colors appear deeper. Yeah, I can see how matte, because matte is scattering more light on the surface, so it probably makes it look like cloudy almost. That's the highest contrast TV. That's the highest contrast. That's why the highest contrast TV is a glossy screen. Yeah, that makes sense. The whole thing about matte, the surface is like very slightly textured, which scatters the light that's coming in and gives it a matte look, which is regards from Cuba. What else? Maybe the background. I want to challenge you to lower the light in the pupils. The eyes are the same shadow as under the bill. I want to challenge you to lower the light in the pupils. The eyes are in the same shadow under the bill. Lower the light in the pupil. Like that, the specular highlight. I should have bought a finer brush. People say gloss is better for darks. Yeah, I can see why. The more clarity of the top coat is probably allowing more light to pass through, less being scattered, so it will make it look deeper, is my assumption. Should be a bit darker, matching the shadows, matching the overall shadows of the area, only barely lighter. Sorry, not the pupils, the white of the eyes around the. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna carve out the, what's the white of the eyes? That's not the cornea. It's called I'm drawing a blank. What's the white of the eye called? What's the word for it? Thixotropic means that a gel becomes more fluid when shaken or agitated, but returns to original viscosity when left to rest. Oh, interesting. That's like a non-Newtonian fluid. Is that the one? When it's like you mix cornstarch with baking soda. I'm typing on a tiny screen so I can't see what I'm saying half the time. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Hey Jeremiah, this is your aunt watching. So can you suggest a watercolor set to get? Hey, how's it going? And a watercolor set. If you're just beginning, maybe just like a I mean, I started off using like the Winsor Newton Cotman set. It comes with like 12 colors and it's pretty reasonably priced. So, yeah, that's what I started off with. And then from there, I kind of moved on and built up my. Yeah, that's the sclera. The white of the eye is called the sclera. So I don't know how I'm gonna get an accurate why do people keep criticizing your work? You're just laying the foundation, so they need to chill out. Let's see how that works. Nah, this is a collaborative effort. Nah, I don't mind. Yeah, like I say, like I could, for these stream, like I paint by myself all the time, so you know, I have complete. Yeah, it doesn't. But it's cool seeing the outside perspective. Yeah, it's a little like cornstarch and water. Yeah, that was the one, cornstarch and water. But I guess it's kind of the opposite. So wait a second. It means that it becomes more fluid when shaken or agitated, but returns to viscosity. Oh yeah, because cornstarch and water, the faster you kind of, it like stiffens up when you try to if you try to move your hand quickly in it, but then it's like quicksand, I guess. So yeah, that's the yeah, that is the opposite of it. I'm trying to think of an example of something that a gel becomes more fluid when shaken or agitated, but returns to its original viscosity. What's an example of something like that? After this layer dries, second pass lets you get more accurate. I really like the way you paint. It's interesting to see somebody explore a new medium coming from a different one. Yeah, it's because I'm trying to, like, my brain is still naturally thinks in gouache mode, so I'm trying to do similar things here, but there are slight differences. But it's fun to kind of see that in real time and try to adjust on the fly. There's a fast drying medium for oil paint, might speed up your process. Viscous drag is a phenomenon. You've been an inspiration for years. You're so cool and talented. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one who struggles to talk while arting. Yeah, I think it really for me it depends on the specific activity. Like if it's like if it's something that I do all the time, it's easy to multitask until it comes to like doing maybe like if I have to focus and steady my hand and get like a lot of details, then it becomes harder to talk. Um, uh, but no, it is it is easy to lose my train of thought for sure. That background color is like very similar to the base color that I put down. Next time I paint, I'm gonna pick a background color that's completely not related to anything in the painting, just to see. How do you choose what you're going to paint? I always struggle to paint a reference image. I have this big board full of just pictures that I gathered. So when I feel like painting, I'll just pick one. And it's not really any specific criteria. It's just I grab stuff that I think looks cool and that I might want to paint. And sometimes it takes me like, sometimes I never get to the painting. Sometimes it takes me a while to get to it. Sometimes I don't even use it for a painting, but as like for details, just maybe to use parts of it for for not just a study. Yeah, I just have an ongoing reference board. And this is just a photo that I found on Pinterest. So what made you made him look like Denzel Washington? I can kind of maybe see it a little bit. He definitely doesn't look as old as I don't have his age right yet. But That's funny. It kind of does. Does anybody, does any you guys, do you paint using like palette knives? Gotta go study. Jay, keep it up. Keep up the good work. Yeah, thanks for, as always, thanks for all the tips and stuff. And, yeah, good luck with your studying. I always struggle painting clothing. Do you have any recommendations for that? Clothing. For clothing, the main thing that really helps it to sell it as clothing is like the folds. Try to observe the folds. A lot of the times, as the light kind of curves and goes into like the shadow, it gets darker, but a little bit more saturated. But a lot of it's kind of hard to have a general rule because it really depends a lot on the type of material. As far as clothing with oil, I still figuring out my own process. So I wouldn't be super helpful as of yet with that. But one thing that helps, at least with gouache, is using a dry brush technique to simulate like the texture, especially if it's something like denim. Like you can hatch one direction and then hatch the other direction to give like a cross hatch to make it look like denim a little bit. That's something that I like to do a lot. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you. Do you plan to use your chemistry degree, or is art your only focus now? For the time being, no immediate plans, but if I need to, then hopefully I can use it in some way. But for the time being, not really, no. I have palette knives I used in my high school that they made us buy, but I have never used them again. You are awesome, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so up until this point, I've been hesitant to load my brush with paint, but I think I'm gonna just start going for it. See what happens. I love digital art a lot more. I don't have to spend money on art supplies, and Undo is a, what's that, quality of life. I'm not saying traditional is bad, but a preference. Yeah, I like both. I like both traditional, and I like traditional more. I like to work with traditional more, but I definitely like digital as well. The Undo is for sure is super clutch. If I'm drawing, I prefer to draw. I definitely prefer drawing on paper a lot more. But painting digitally is fun. Especially when you have layers. Yeah, that's, yeah, definitely I like layering a lot with digital. I have a similar working method with my digital paintings as I do it with like a gouache painting, where it's just basically all layers. That's a fun way for me to work. Looking good, man. Thank you. Thank you. I can only do watercolor and a bit of gouache. You never know. Maybe for now, but you can always expand. That's what I'm trying to do, at least. Yeah, because before last week, that's all I did as well. But digital is definitely more cost effective once you get past the initial purchase, because you don't have to keep buying new paints and stuff. That's why I switched. Exactly. Yeah. I haven't quite practiced drawing specifically enough on digital to have it where it feels as natural to me as drawing on paper. I can't get like the same fluidity that I do on paper. But once I get to like mixing the paint and stuff, it doesn't matter. But like getting gestural lines and stuff is harder for me to do in digital. I can tell you my art has improved and skyrocketed too after the purchase. I only tried gouache a few times. Once was creating an eye you did in a workshop. Nice. How'd you like it? I got, if you didn't like it that much if you only did the eye, or Procreate is so clutch. Yeah, for sure. And it's especially if you like to draw. If you like to draw on like paper, it's really easy to. You can just take a picture and then instantly like convert it to Procreate and be ready to paint. I love the eye. I can't do it on my own though. Sure you can. It just takes. You just gotta just try a bunch of eyes. What I do is just get a blank canvas and start scribbling something, and then something will come. I usually don't use references only for like poses, but lately I've been drawing from imagination. Nice. Yeah, it's I'm still trying to figure out. I used to prefer traditional, but after a few years, I prefer digital. I don't use layers anymore. I just paint the same layer, so I've incorporated some of that traditional aspect. Yeah, that's what I do when I paint in digital. I use layers only for like convenience. When it's like for example, if I'm painting a person, usually all the skin will be on one layer. All the skin tones will be on one layer. And if they have like clothes, then I'll have like another layer to like make it so that I don't have to keep painting over like the borders between the clothes and the skin. But in general, I try to minimize layers as much as possible, and that gives me a closer experience to painting traditionally. When I was trying to learn it, I just had to figure out ways to simplify everything as much as possible. How do you feel AI will impact the artist scene? I think for commercial work, it's definitely gonna have an impact, just because with anytime companies like can cut costs and stuff, they're gonna do it. But I don't think it's gonna make artists go extinct. I think people are still gonna do art. People are still gonna want handmade art and art made by a person, because they can connect with it more. But I think it will have some effect though on commercial art. But people like as is. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll definitely be used a lot in the like ideation phase. But it'll still need to be cleaned up and stuff by people. What do you think about it? What effect do you think it will have? You're cooking, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Hello from Malaysia. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Hello from Hong Kong. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm okay with AI. The thing I hate is people trying to pay past AI art as their own original pieces. Yeah. It has an obvious look though. Like you can, I don't know, I feel like AI you can spot it like immediately. What paints am I using? This is oil painting. I'm using some oils today. Painting with gouache or oils. Yeah, this is oil paint. Trying to think how I should paint this scarf. If it was gouache, I would put down a solid color and then paint on top of it. I might put down a solid dilute green with some medium, and then hopefully it dries quick enough. The acting layer on top of it. But watercolor gives similar results. Now watercolor is almost like the opposite way of thinking, where you're not building up opaques, you're rather laying down transparent washes. So it will be kind of hard to achieve the same result. You could get a closer result with gouache, because gouache is also opaque, but yeah, watercolor that'll be kind of tough to do the same thing. Drop my painting. I don't think I can mix in green that's quite as vibrant as the one on his in the reference. I think I would need both my blues and yellow are both kind of muted down, so I don't think I can get a green quite as vibrant as that. How do you feel AI will impact the art scene? Either way, I'm still gonna be painting, so we'll see what happens. But Love the art, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, this plaid might have to be. I might have to wait for it to dry completely, so I can lay on top of it. I don't know. These oils, I know you used to do gouache. Yeah, this is oil. Practicing my oil. It's fun, but it's a different way of working and thinking. But definitely having fun with it though. AI is complicated. I think it can be a great tool for artists, as in graphic designers, to use it as a tool, but it's scary to see people not care about the ethics and the way artists have been robbed. Yeah, it feels like some of them like just kind of enjoy being antagonistic towards artists, like trolling basically. Yeah, I can see it being a useful like ideation tool. It feels like some kind of ethical way to harvest the data, or ethical way to get permission to use artist work, but I don't know. It's kind of past that point at this point. Same fashion, same for. Been following your work for a minute. Thank you. I need some more glue. I'd be scared to see my work get trained by AI. Yeah. I mean, there's like the what's the website? It's the one that I'm forgetting the name right now. It's Nightshade, I think, in Glaze and Nightshade, where you can run your artwork through those to kind of try to protect yourself from being trained on. But yeah, besides that, it's kind of hard to have a way of stopping people if they really wanted to from training your work. Use liquid. No, this I'm using mineral spirits, odorless mineral spirits for my solvent. That's too bright. I like liquid because it speeds up drying time. How much faster does it make it? How much faster does it speed up the drying time by? Like, if oil typically takes like, I don't know, like a week to dry, does liquid make it like dry in like a day or so? What inspired you to start the live art sessions? I've done them sporadically throughout the years. It's just I've been trying to just be more consistent with it. And they're just fun to do. I like hanging out with you guys, answering questions, and with the oil painting, I've been getting a lot of good advice and tips and stuff, so it's been helpful for me. Yeah, next day for layering, really. Liquid dries within the next day. I might have to try that out then. Does it affect like the paint? Like the quality of the paint in any way? In any noticeable way? Nope, it makes it shiny, I guess. But fast drying medium is the worst. It's like painting with syrup. Liquid is like painting with syrup. Amazingly talented. Thank you. Thank you. I like this cool color that I'm putting down. It's adding some nice contrast to all these warm skin tones around it. Fast drying. Oh no, liquid is like painting with cold oil. Fast drying medium is its own drying medium. So it's okay. So it does the same thing as liquid. It's just a different thing on its own. That's a nice color. See if I can incorporate it somewhere else. It looks like actual syrup. Ah, okay. And liquid looks more purplish. Have you decided what you'll paint for a painting competition? This one, it's a live painting competition. It's from a model, so you just show up. You get assigned a random place in the room, and then you just paint them. Everybody's painting the same model for 6 hours, so I don't have to make any choice. I don't have to make any decision on what to paint. Just have to execute. I want to go back to painting with oils, but I always worry about the solvents. I used to paint with water mixable oil paints as well, and surprisingly not bad. Yeah, it's I haven't tried. How did you like water mixable oils? I haven't tried them yet. I just got into just regular oils so far. Been using them for about a week now, so. What was your experience with the water mixable oils? Have you used regular oil before? And like, how would you compare the two? Yeah, the solvent. Put this fan up so I have more ventilation. Have you decided on what you'll paint? When did you start doing art? I've been doing art since I was a kid. But I started trying to improve and taking it more seriously when I was in grad school, 2017. It's actually starting to come together. I'm starting to like it. Main thing I'm struggling with is trying to get like sharp edges. You look much more comfortable and relaxed with this painting than you did last week. Hooray. Yes, I feel like I still have a lot to learn, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, or at least learning more than I did before. Yeah, one thing I think I am if it's something that interests me, I'm a pretty quick learner, but if it's something that I don't care about, it's like impossible to focus. When did you start doing art? A lot of improvement, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I should have bought a smaller brush. Plus, oil does feel a bit more straightforward than like gouache or watercolor, in the sense that I don't have to worry about how the color changes. With gouache and watercolor and stuff, you really have to compensate for how the colors will change when they go from wet to dry, but it doesn't seem to be a concern with oil. Wow, looks great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. With water-based oils, when I started mixing them with linseed oil, everything changed for me in terms of how they look and act. Not better than oil, perhaps, but no one will notice the difference. That's interesting. So you mix linseed oil with the water-based oils? How did that affect the paint? Because I would assume they would have to put some kind of special coating to make oil paint be able to be mixable with water, because typically if you had like organic chemistry class, you know, like when it comes to solubility, like mixes with like. So like aqueous compounds typically don't mix with organic. So I would be curious to know how they make the oil paint water soluble. You're so talented. I missed the beginning. Did you sketch this out first? Yeah, I started with the pencil sketch. Thank you. And yeah, I started with the pencil sketch and then went from there. Yeah, I typically like to start with the pencil sketch as my roadmap and then build on top of that. I tried water soluble oils. See what the difference is. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Sable Morte. What's up? And Sick Town, thank you. Thank you. What's going on? How long does it usually take you to finish one's painting? I was for oils. I'm not sure yet. This is my first portrait in oil. Last week I started this skull, but I did some skulls, but I didn't finish them. I wanted to paint in the next layer. But yeah, for oil, I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me yet. So far, it's been 2 hours and 12 minutes. When it comes to gouache, like my usual stuff, that's probably about 2 hours ish, like in the 2 hour range, 2 to 3 hour range. If it's just like a study, kind of like this. If it's anything imaginative, then it takes much longer. But that's kind of the typical range. You're so good. Thank you. Thank you. Trying to learn some oils. Perfect shading. Perfect shading, thank you. Yeah, the values really, like a good value structure really helps to sell the painting. I like it. He looks like he wouldn't let me in the lantern room of his lighthouse. It's always funny to see like how it can, like what the art makes people think of. Cause yeah, he does actually kind of look like a I don't know what people that operate lighthouses are called, but he does look like one of them. I thought the same, but I haven't seen. But I've seen most. I thought the same, but I have seen some people recommend using linseed oil for water-based oils, and it helps with the drying time. They also make water mixable oil mediums. That's interesting. Linseed oil helps with the drying time for water mixable oils. So does it help it dry faster or slower? When you say it helps with the drying time, what does that refer to? Have you considered doing more food illustration? The work you did for Shake Shack was amazing. Oh, thank you. And yeah, I wonder why they, because I hadn't really posted really any food anywhere. I wonder why they contacted me for that, but I was just excited to do it. But that was actually a really fun project to do because it was an unusual subject that I typically don't paint, but it was fun just trying to basically I painted it the same way I paint everything else, is just looking at different blocks of colors and how I can tie everything together. But yeah, it was definitely fun. I definitely gotta do more of that. Yeah, I can paint stuff for food from life, since like set up food, still lives and stuff. to soften this. That's the one thing that's not cool about oils. It's really easy to soften edges. It's much more challenging to do in gouache and acrylic gouache, specifically acrylic gouache. Gouache, you can do it. It takes a little bit of finesse, but it's definitely possible. But acrylic gouache is really hard to blend because it dries so quickly. I wish I could finish a piece in one sitting. Yeah, I struggle. Like if I wasn't on live, then I would definitely be struggling to. It would be easy for me to get like distracted and, but like by me live streaming, it definitely helps keep me on task much better than I would if I was trying to just paint by myself. And like just talking and answering questions and stuff helps the time, makes the time pass by quicker. Water-based oils is dry quicker. Oh, I see. Water-based oils dry quicker, so with linseed oil, it makes the drying time slower. Interesting. I might have to check it out now then, because that would be cool to have oil paint that dries a little quicker so you can layer faster. Because at least my current way of working is much more layer based. So if the layer dries quicker, then that means it's easier for me to layer. So I'm assuming that you like to have a more blended approach than if you want a longer drying time. How much what are you guys up to? Anybody drawing or painting anything? Drawing and painting along? What kind of oil medium are you using? Linseed? I have linseed. I haven't been using it though. I've been using mineral spirits. Odorless mineral spirits. And I have some linseed. I haven't painted anything for a while because I haven't felt inspired, but my dad has been working on some really cool stuff. Nice. You haven't felt inspired? But yeah, I feel that. Sometimes it's just hard to have anything come to you. I'm just admiring your hair. Your beautiful curls seem to be popping even more since you got your haircut. Thank you. Yeah, I just trimmed it myself because it was getting a little bit more. It was getting to be a hassle to deal with. When it's just shorter, it's a little bit easier. Less hair to detangle. But thank you. I haven't paid anything. Oh, cool. I'm using water-soluble oil, and I use a fast-drying medium with safflower oil. So safflower oil dries quicker than linseed? Is that how it works? And if so, like how much faster is safflower? How much faster does safflower oil dry? Like, is it within days? I don't know if you like water-based oils. You could try. I think they're a bit thick. The oil helps give them a better consistency and enhance the colors. I think they're a bit matte without it. That sounds more similar to what I'm typically use, which is gouache. So I might like the matte look, but yeah, it's definitely something I gotta try. I'm not really set in my ways yet when it comes to oil, so I'm definitely open to experimentation, trying new things. But they're thicker and they dry. When you we mix the oil base, the water soluble oils with with water. Um, what was I gonna ask? Does that help with like the thickness of the paint, or is it still kind of? Does it make it much more easy to work it on the surface, or? Looks like you. Safflower oil is a drying oil, but it prevents yellowing. When mixed with quick dry medium, it works great. How fast would you say it makes the paint dry? And does it have any effect like on the final piece in terms of so I know you said it's non-yellowing. Can it make like can it make the paint crack? Lighting looks dope. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any good shows you guys haven't watched lately? Or movies? Tradition? Is that a show? Or great contrast between the sun hitting the tip of the nose and the rest of the face under the shadow of the hat. Almost put my shades on. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's that highlight right there is probably what drew me to this reference image. Like that it makes that really cool shape with the roundness of the nose and then the shadow that the brim of the hat forms. It will dry similarly to traditional oils with liquid, no yellowing, no cracking, and the colors are more brilliant. That was the sapphire oil with the drying medium. Yes, I have to experiment with all the different medium options, because that was one of the things that like held me back from finally trying oil. It just seemed like it was a whole lot of stuff to consider that I just didn't know where to begin. Safflower oil dries a little slower than linseed oil. It's also a little less viscous. Some paint manufacturers use it in their white and yellow paints because it does not darken as much as linseed. You can thin the oils with water. That's what I did in the beginning, but it's not as smooth or easy as with the oils. But you can clean the brushes effectively with water, and I like not using solvents. Yeah, that seems to be the biggest concern with oil paint is the use of solvents. Like I've been using this odorless mineral spirit, and I have this fan. To kind of keep the fumes away from me. Yep, safflower oil with drying medium, no cracking, no yellowing. Colors are more brilliant. Fiddler on the Roof was the show. The painting is very beautiful. Thank you. Fiddler on the Roof? What's that about? But I guess it's about a fiddler on the roof for some reason. TV is trash. I prefer watching inspirational YouTube videos, including yours. Cooking videos are fun too. Yeah, I've been into watching like old YouTube videos on like. Lately, I've been into World War I for some reason. So I've been watching like YouTube documentaries about World War I. I don't think I ever learned about it in high school, or maybe I did, but I just didn't pay attention because I definitely wasn't in high school. I wasn't really that interested in history. I was more interested in like math and science in high school. Also, no headaches. You always make me feel want to draw, even though it makes me feel bad because I won't be as good as you. Your arts are inspiring. No, it's not. It's not about comparing to me. It's about just practicing and having fun with it and seeing how much you can improve from how good you were yesterday. You know. But I definitely can relate because there's people that I look at and I get the same feeling. Like, man, I'll never be as good as them. But yeah, it's if you can, because it's just a function of time and repetition, honestly. So the more you do it, the more you'll like your own stuff, you know. But it's not a comparison or anything. So you definitely should bring out your paints or paper, sketch pad, whatever you like to work on. Some drying mediums can cause issues with your paint. Safe dryers are alkyds and epoxy oils. Cobalt dryers can cause issues unless you use a very small amount. What are dryers? It's like a medium that you add to speed up the drying of the paint. So is like liquid considered a dryer? How long did it take to get this skilled? I don't know. So this is actually my first oil painting portrait. Like this is my first oil painting, but I've been painting in gouache and watercolor, so a lot of the, at least the color mixing knowledge is transferring over nicely. As far as the actual nuances of using oil, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. But I mean, I've been painting since 2017, so that's 7-8 years. Yes, speeds up drying. So that's the drying mediums. Cobalt dryers. Yeah, like a lot of the brushwork and stuff. I'm just trying to emulate what I would try to do if this was gouache. But some things are definitely different. Do you ever have any opinions on plein air? If so, is that something you ever practice? Yeah, I practice plein air. I love plein air. I have some plein air sketchbooks. I haven't been out. I went painting last week, but I gotta get back out more regularly. But yeah, I love plein air. Is really fun. I have like a little action cam so that I can record my plein air process. So I might do some plein air YouTube videos if that's something people would be interested in seeing. Cause so far the only I've shared a couple like reels on Instagram about my plein air paintings, but nothing really more than that. So it'll be kind of fun to try it out. Do you have any? I've been watching some documentaries. The recent one about colors in nature, Life in Color with David Attenborough. Yeah, his voice is legendary. He's like the go-to documentarian narrator. But I haven't seen that one. Is it pretty good? You like it? Would you recommend it? I'm trying to get this hair texture by doing the dry brush technique, where it's not really any medium on the page, and the paint is pretty stiff, and then I'll spread the bristles out and like lightly rake over the surface to try to get like some hair texture without having to paint every single strand. It seems to be working pretty well. I think Liquid has some cobalt in it, and I was referring to cobalt dryers can cause issues. So with Liquid, you only want to use a really tiny amount, so that you don't affect the paint. For how long have you been drawing? And do you have any other hobbies? Hobbies, I like basketball, dodgeball, watching movies. I don't really play that many video games. The main video game I like these days is Smash Bros. Ultimate. What else? I think the percentage of cobalt used in liquid is considered safe to your paint. It's mostly alkyd, but you should use it equally in all of your paint layers. So if you use it unequally, will it cause like cracking because a differential rate of drying? Like, so if it's faster drying below, will that cause like the paint to crack? The documentary has been fun, more lighthearted than his usual stuff in my opinion. Just pretty interesting. And that's the colors in nature. If it's colors in nature, I'm sure that they talk about like those rainforest birds that have like all the crazy colors in their feathers. This painting, it's coming along. I'm actually liking it. I like it so far. It's like 4 a.m. in my country and I have school. Should I sleep? Yeah, you should definitely sleep. This will be saved to replay if you wanted to see it later. But yeah, definitely get your rest, guys. It's super important. I appreciate it though. It's 4 a.m. So, where are you located? Are you in what country are you in? Is that 4 a.m.? Is that Asia? Somewhere in Asia or Africa? I like how warm the colors feel. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna try to use the background to carve out the silhouette a little bit more. If you add more dryers to upper layers, they dry faster than the layers below, and that's what causes issues between layers. Yes, it can either cause cracking or cause a layer to adhere and not adhere and slide off. Oh wow. Okay, so if you have a dry layer on top of a wet layer, a layer that's still wet, then it will be able to slide off. Well, that's interesting consideration you have to keep in mind. Right, kind of just the fat over lean principle. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Not something you have to really worry about with gouache because it dries so fast. By the time you put another layer, it will either blend into the layer that you have down, or it will just be completely dry and not be an issue. What about you, Lakeisha? Have you tried plein air? Do you like plein air painting? I'm drawing a worm. What compelled you to draw a worm? Not that there's anything wrong with worms, but they're pretty cool. You don't know? Hey, that's as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. That's why I switched to water media. A lot less to worry about. Yeah, it seems like it's way more. It's less complexity in terms of like all the different principles and all the different considerations you have to make and with the materials that you're using. It's just the complexity comes with like and like calibrating for a company, taking into account the color shifts and stuff. And water media a little bit less forgiving. Well, gouache is, well, specifically watercolor. Gouache is pretty forgiving. I have done plein air, but not for some time. It would be interesting to see some of your plein air work. I missed it. Yeah, I can show you a couple. Um, so these are my plein air sketchbooks. I'm up to volume 5 now, but the way I like to have it where it's like, one, I like painting in like widescreen, like not widescreen, like a wide view, and then I like to have like this little map inset. But yeah, these are just local areas that I kind of just ride around. And this is acrylic gouache. Acrylic gouache it's nice because it dries really fast. But that's also an issue because it dries fast on the palette, so you have to keep like a spray bottle with you, so that keep a spray bottle so that it you can keep your palette and paints wet. But yeah, acrylic gouache, Plein painting is really fun. I have like my whole mobile like studio set up, everything fits in my backpack. But yeah, Plein. This is just different places around Providence and Boston and like this general area. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the most recent one I did was the 4th. So that was like, wow, that was like 2 weeks ago. So I gotta get back out there. But yeah, it's a bunch. Maybe I should do like a sketchbook tour going through all of these. I have. Oh dang! Do you ever consider illustration for books or animation? Yeah, I did my first book cover this past year, like a book cover illustration. I think I like shorter like one-off projects where I'm like doing like a collection of illustrations or like one-off. But I think longer term projects would be nice for in terms of like stability, like. But I like knocking projects out and moving on to the next thing. But yeah, Plein Air fun. Plein Air is really fun. I'm gonna be back out there. I just got this. I got some stuff so that I can record while I'm out there. Yeah, I got an action camera so that I can record when I'm doing the Plein Air, and like I got this it's like this neck mount so you can have like POV shots, and then the camera just like fits right on there, so it's like a first person view of like what you're painting. I think that might be cool. So yeah, I'm in the next couple of weeks try to get outside and practice like making like maybe some Plein Air videos or something. Cause at least for YouTube, I don't really know what to post. I don't really want to do any like Pinterest portrait studies for like YouTube videos that much anymore. And a lot of the other work I do is like figure drawing and stuff, and I don't know if you could put that on YouTube. Any art book recommendations? Yeah, I have a collection of art books. I can show a couple of my favorites. Let's see. I'll be right back. Oh, actually, I have some right here. This is an illustrator I really like, Robert McGinnis. Apparently he just passed away a couple weeks ago. But his stuff is really cool. He was a book artist. He was like a movie poster illustrator. He did like James Bond movie posters and different book covers. He did like Wild West paintings and stuff like that. So his stuff's really cool. He works in like oil paint or egg tempera. But yeah, he just passed away. He was 99 years old. That's crazy. But that's one of my favorites. I have this Kendra G book. Another artist that I really like. favorite artists, Andrew Hem. He's on, and his stuff is like gouache. He does like a lot of gouache and yeah, a lot of gouache, and he does like murals and stuff. But his artwork's really cool. He has a nice style. Yeah, this is like gouache at tan paper. This is the kind of stuff that I like to look at. And then everybody, well, most people probably know Eliza Ivanova. She does like a lot of crazy pencil drawings and stuff. Yeah, that's just a couple. I don't know if that was helpful. I like how this I like this painting. Sweet, thanks, new artist to me. All right, yeah, that's yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, check them out. See, you might like them depending on if that's like your style. Yeah, I tend to like illustrative stuff. I pray that you live a long and fulfilling life, but could you please list me a beneficiary to receive all of your sketchbooks? Those are some beautiful treasures. Yeah, I gotta start make like reproductions of them because they're stacking up, especially the plein air or the life drawing ones. For the figure drawing, I'm up to 9, so. Hopefully I'll finish 9 before the beginning of summer, and then if I can finish 10 this year, that'd be cool. But yeah, I just like working in sketchbooks because it's like everything's contained in like a specific period of time. You don't have to worry about framing or anything like that. It just makes it makes me not really want to sell it because I like to keep the books intact. But man, this has really come out beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about oil paint. People are giving me really good suggestions and getting some first-hand experience, just seeing how I would like to mix it and work with it. And yeah, it's a good time whenever I get a chance to try something new. I might use one of my old watercolor brushes just for, cause I need a sharp point, but I don't have anything. I didn't buy any round brushes. Amazing. Are you self-taught or did you go to art school? No, I didn't go to art school. I'm self-taught. But I think I always kind of say like I feel like everybody. Even if you did go to art school, I feel like everybody's self-taught because the only way you learn is by actually painting and drawing yourself. So photo sources. This is just from Pinterest. Just a random photo I found on Pinterest. I really like the lighting, specifically on his nose, and like the brim of the hat and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't need this. I don't need this brush. It's no going back. Once I use this for oil, I don't think I can use it for watercolor anymore, but I don't really use it anyway. So we'll see what happens. Or maybe I'll use this one. Yeah, let's see. I just need something that can come to a nice point, so I can get some finer details. What's the right price to make you give up originals? I'll start saving coins now. It depends. Anything that's like a loose piece of paper, like these, I'm willing to. I'll sell these like oil paintings here if anybody would be interested. I'm not attached to them or anything. It's just for a learning experience, but we come up with a reasonable price. Since it was just for like learning and practice. Did you tone the canvas paper or just started on the white surface? I toned this with acrylic gouache. I used some burnt umber acrylic gouache to tone it. I don't think this brush is liking the oil. The bristles are like kind of splaying out. But this is an old brush that I never used anyway, so I don't care that much if it gets messed up. But yeah, I'm gonna have to buy me a nice round oil brush so that I can get some fine details. Did you tone are you drawn to images with strong light and shadow patterns? Yeah, not always, but they're definitely they're easier to work with, I would say. It's easier to establish the value structure if it's nice and clear. A clear value structure is a little bit easier to work with, but I like to challenge. Sometimes I like photos with a little less contrast. Is just a little bit harder to work with. At least a little harder to make look interesting. Yeah, this brush is not happy. Do you get any back pain when you stand this whole time? Not really. I don't have any back pain right now, I guess. It's not because I'm working at an angle. Like my board is kind of at an angle, so I'm not really hunched over. I can show you. like for one, I'm working at a stand-up desk, and I'm also working at like a board that's kind of at an angle. So that really helps out a lot in terms of not having any I'm not like bending down and looking straight down, messing up my neck or anything. And then it's working at like a standing desk, so that helps ergonomically. Put the camera back on. After a while though, yeah, it does eventually. I do eventually get tired. Three hours. I think it's getting to a good point to call it. I'll go a little bit more because I'm still having fun, but yeah, I need me a brush that can get a nice sharp point. Girl, I'm younger than him, and I do get back pain while drawing. How do you work? Like, how's your setup? Like, are you looking straight down? Like, you really wanna make sure you're in a position that's comfortable and not demanding. I'm a big fan of your art. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That might be a little bit too bright. Here directly from Brazil. What's going on? Brush is actually kind of nice once you load it up with enough paint. I think an issue I was having earlier was just not putting enough paint in the brush. That for an hour designing, and it looks amazing. Thank you. How the designing go? What were you working on? If you can say. A logo for a music studio in London. Nice. Nice. What's like your logo design process? Do you start with like sketches in a sketchbook? You jump straight to digital? I don't have a specific position, but I always bend my back in a strange way by the time it hurt. Try getting like a tabletop easel or something that you can have your artwork at an angle that you're not just looking straight down. That helps me at least with back problems. If I sit down for a long time, yeah, my back definitely starts hurting though. That's why I like to work standing up. That's my roots idea dump. Nice. I actually really like the synthetic brush. This is it holds the paint in a way that I like. My name is Cristiano. I am a big fan of yours here in Brazil. It's very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you prefer small scale over large scale? What's your preference? I tend to work small just because gouache is a little nicer. It's easier to manage when it's smaller, but working big is fun too. If I had to pick one, I'd probably work like smaller though. Finish faster. I started following your page after you saw you do a demo a while ago. Skull painting, did a great job. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I use whenever I'm doing like demos, especially if it's like a limited time demo, under an hour or something, I typically paint like the skull because it's an easier subject matter to paint in a short amount of time versus like a full portrait. Have you ever used generational fill on your art photos? No, I haven't. I haven't messed around with any type of AI or anything. Is it useful? Have you found a good use for it? Love your work. Thank you. Thank you. You have to come and visit Plein in Brazil. I don't think I said that right. I'd love to visit Brazil someday. Want to zoom out and see the rest of the photo where what he's looking at. Oh, I see. So generational fill, you can kind of okay, yeah, zoom out and see like more context of what's in the photo. And that's what for that's for Photoshop. Do you work with other mediums? Yeah, I'm just learning oil now. Like, this is my first oil portrait, and last week was my first oil painting. But the main medium I work with is gouache and acrylic gouache. I'm just now getting into oil recently. Generative AI fills in the blanks and adds element to your image. And yeah, Photoshop. Amazing work. You are looking handsome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Color palette, limited palette. Yeah, I'm using titanium white, Windsor red. Yeah, I'm just using 5 colors. Titanium white, French ultramarine, ivory black, yellow ochre, and Windsor red deep. So basically primary colors plus white and black. Yeah, whenever I get a new medium, start a new medium, I like to just keep it simple. Start with just a limited palette and learn how to mix colors with that medium, and then once I kind of know what I'm doing, or know a little bit more of what I'm doing, then I can expand and experiment, see other colors and stuff like that. But I like to start simple. Mainly because it's cheaper. Don't have to buy a bunch of paints. While you're killing it with oils, I have watched you with gouache. I love how you layer colors to get skin tones. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's I have to think slightly different with the oils. I can't just with gouache. I can just throw whatever I want down and kind of build up from there. But with this, since it doesn't dry instantly, I kind of have to, I can't really just do that. But it's been fun. It's been fun to learn and experiment. This brush isn't clean all the way. I was trying to find your art page name. I could not remember. I was so stumped. Happy that you're live. Nice. Yeah, I picked a nice simple username that's super a little short. That is nice because it fits into like inside a square. So for like the logo, I was super creative with my username. Just my initials. I'm happy you're on live. You ready with the oils? A good work, man. Don't blame his tools. Yeah, exactly. Takes a bit of time to get used to your tools, but it's better to, at least when I'm starting something new, I like to keep it simple. Not overcomplicate it. Confident to do a new medium in front of an audience. Yeah, it's fine. It was actually helpful because people were giving me a bunch of suggestions and advice and stuff. So it was actually nice. So I didn't have to like stumble around, and I could get like tips and tricks in real time as I'm learning. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, last week that's when I first started, and I had no plans of jumping on live, but I decided I would just do it just to see, and it turned out to be Be pretty fun. And I mean, a lot of it, like I can fall, at least use the drawing as kind of, not a crutch, but the drawing definitely can give me at least a decent starting place that I'm not completely stumbling around in the dark. I love that showing the wins and fails. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, most of the fails I really don't really post that much. I think I should make the dark background a little darker so that the white beard and highlight on the ears stand out a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, because as it is now, they kind of mix together. I always like using the background to kind of carve out shapes that I want. Artists make a great giving community. Yeah, everybody's they're not stingy with the knowledge, you know, because it's like we all learn from somebody, and it's especially these days, and people kind of say, I feel like these days people overuse the word gatekeep. It's become like a buzzword kind of thing to say, but most artists, in my experience, aren't really that gatekeepy about painting knowledge. So I really like this brush, how it's holding the paint. And I always like a good angled shader brush. Oh, oops. Yeah, that's the one thing. Well, I don't think you can see it in the video, but the paint is still wet, so I have to be careful with the borders that I'm applying. I love your first oil portrait. It's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, it came. I like how it came together. The contrast is really nice. That's really fun with the oil. It's really easy to get that contrast. There's some details, but I need a smaller. I gotta pick up a smaller brush that I can use to really get fine details. But for the overall like shapes and stuff, I'm satisfied with it. I like how it came out. Yeah, it's been almost 3.5 hours. So I might wrap it up here. I like how it's looking. Guys, thank you as always. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for giving me all your tips. Just chilling. Hopefully you're painting along and having fun too. And yeah, next Tuesday I'll be back 7 o'clock. I might randomly hop on potentially at some point between then, but I'll try to keep the schedule going of Tuesdays, a set stream every Tuesday. I'll try to keep that going. So but yeah, this was fun. Thank you, God. Well, it's turned out great. You have so much stamina and patience. I think I logged off about 2.5 hours ago and you're still going strong. Yeah, I'm wrapping up now. It was a nice 3.5 hour stream. Not bad. Is it raining? It was. I don't know if it still is. I don't think it is anymore. It was earlier though. That sound you're hearing is probably my fan though. I can imagine the rest when he is sitting by the water watching the boats. Yeah. It looks perfect. Enjoy it. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. See ya.